my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Guys, listen. I think I've just watched the most hilarious Head of House challenge, Head of House challenger games today. The reaction from the challengers was epic. Oh my goodness, guys. I feel like I'm actually having a migraine, laughing so hard. Especially Kocho's reaction. Kocho's reaction was just everything. Everything that I needed to set my afternoon right. Kocho was just simply hilarious. Like, what the hell? Oh my goodness. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're wondering why this girl is why I'm laughing this hard. I'm going to tell you all about it, all right? So, the housemates had the Head of House Challenger just this afternoon, all right? I don't know what time you're going to see this video, but they've had the Head of House Challenger as of now. And Rooboy emerged the new Head of House, yes. But before he emerged, the challenge that was set before them, oh my goodness, it was insane. It was insane. And it literally went according to the theme of the week, which I'm going to spill on this video, right? So make sure you watch to the end because I'm going to be spilling all the details, all right? Now, aside that, I'm also going to be sharing conversations that has happened in the house today. Now, today is not over. At the time of creating this video, it is still afternoon, and there's already been some very interesting, juicy conversations, between housemates around different corners of the house, and I'm going to spill all the tea about that. So make sure you watch this video to the end because there's actually a lot to take away, all right? There's actually a lot to update you guys on, all right? But before we get into it, you are all specially welcome to my channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I call myself the girl with the tea. Also, this is officially the 5th week of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, we're halfway into the game. Yes, and you see here, it brings a lot of thoughts to my head. Yes, I mean, this is just a side note to this conversation. It makes me think a lot because at the moment we have 22 housemates in the house. We have an eviction-free week, I think, because for every season of Big Brother, there's always 2 eviction-free weeks. So we've had the first week as an eviction-free week, meaning either in week 8, we're going to have another eviction-free week. Yeah. Now, what that means is that out of 5 weeks, we have, I think, about 3 or 4 weeks to evict housemates, if I am not mistaken. It probably might be even 3 itself because the final week is the grand finale week, right? So in that grand finale, usually we're supposed to have like the top 5 or top 6. And this season, I don't know if we're going to be having a top 10 just to go along with the theme of the season, 10 over 10. So I'm not really sure. So I've been doing a lot of calculations, asking myself, okay, what's going to happen? Because we still have a lot of human beings in that house. How is production going to handle, the elimination of all of these housemates? This week, for instance, are we going to have like a triple eviction? Next week, are we going to have like a king size eviction? Because the last time Ebuka carried out a king size eviction on the show, only 4 people, or was it 3 people, were evicted, and the viewers were quite disappointed because we were wondering, like, hold on a second, when you talk about king size, we're actually expecting at least 5 eliminations. So what is the deal? So ladies and gentlemen, this is what I've been thinking about the most part of today. If you are also thinking about it, if you have maybe your own analysis or predictions about it, also do let me know in the comment section below, all right? Now, that said, let's just get right into the video as we discuss the events as they've been happening in Big Brother's house today. Okay, so the theme of the week is Face Your Fears. Yes, it's a horror week in Big Brother's house. And ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to horror weeks on the Big Brother show, I always enjoy it because production tends to, stretch the limits of these housemates' imaginations. They tend to do the most. They tend to scare these housemates in the best way possible, to ensure that each and every single one of those housemates experiences their fears one-on-one. And currently in the house, there are certain housemates that said during their intro videos that they are not afraid of anything, i.e. Koyin. So Koyin in particular, I am looking forward to seeing if there's anything that's going to really scare this guy. And I say this because I remember one of those seasons of Big Brother and Zamzi, that's the season 4 of the show, right? The Siamosha season, the Disruptor season, when the housemates also had the Face Your Fear season, and what had happened was production had sent in attendants from one of the parks, animal parks in the country, and then they had brought in different types of snakes, scorpions, all of these wild animals that are very sneaky. They had brought them into the house, and they had encouraged the housemates to interact with the animals, touch the animals, even wear the animals on their neck, on their bodies like ornaments. And it was a very interesting experience, as some of the housemates almost passed out of fear. Including the biggest disruptor of the season. Man was so scared, he almost passed out. Yeah, so I cannot wait to see what Big Brother is going to be throwing the way of these housemates this week. I really do hope that they really go out of their way, to scare these housemates, so that those ones that are proving to be brave and strong, we're going to see if it's all a facade or if it's actually real for them, all right? But anyways, still speaking about the theme of the week, the way the Head of House Challenger was actually arranged in the arena today, guys, the games, oh my goodness, it was quite interesting to see. Let's forward to the Head of House Challenger, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Big Brother really went all out to kickstart this Face Your Fears Horror Week theme, yes, with the challengers, because the final game that the top 3 or last 3 contenders had actually been made to face, right, from which the Head of House emerged, guys, it was insane. There was a box with different crawling things. There were rabbits, there was a bird poking your hands and whatnot, and the birds, the birds were inside the box, and then I think there was one box that there was a snake. I don't know if it was a real life snake or if it was a rubber snake, I don't know, but these boxes had feathers, it had cottons, but then it also had a rabbit, and innocent looking rabbit, right? But it looked scary, right? Because of course those animals would definitely be touching and rubbing off and poking the hands of these housemates. So the instruction was for the 3 last contenders to put their hands inside the box and retrieve the Head of House badge. It was circular in motion, yes. And oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we had Jason J, we had Rooboy, and we had Culture. And speaking about Jason J, this week he had the privilege as the standing Head of House to choose 5 of his challengers. So he had chosen Rooboy, Culture, Koyin, Dede, and Bright. He remained consistent with the same 5 people he had chosen in week 1. Yes. So he remained consistent and chose the same set of people. Yes. And so the other 2 had been eliminated, or the other 3 had been eliminated from the first round, and then it was the second round where they had to put their hands blindfolded in those boxes and retrieve the Head of House badge. And oh my goodness, where I started cracking up the most was where Culture got poked by the bird and the rabbit, and the guy was shouting, "Yay! Yay! Big brother, what is this?" The guy was shouting. And the guy was just shouting, "Yay! Yay!" He was shouting so much. It was so funny. Even Jason J, that is usually very tough, the guy stands and weathers all weather. Come on, dudes could not even stand it, because the rabbit and all, they were actually poking their fingers, their hands, and even Rooboy was shouting, "Ah, wait to be this, wait to be." Guys, it was funny, but at the end of the day, Culture was able to retrieve the badge, but unfortunately for him, Rooboy already retrieved the badge way longer before him, and after a lot of checks to be sure who was the fastest, it turned out to be Rooboy. So ladies and gentlemen, massive accolades to Rooboy on emerging the new Head of House this week, and he had been asked to choose a guest, and of course he had gone ahead to choose Zita, who just finished her own Head of House reign, right? And she had equally chosen him as a guest. So according to how Big Brother put it, the landlady has now become a tenant, and the tenants and guests has now become the landlord. So I'm super happy for them, because they really flowed well last week. They had a very, very good reign together, even though Zita was not really the best Head of House. But I'm really optimistic about Rooboy being the Head of House this week, because he's got presence, he's got charisma, and he doesn't take bullshit from these housemates. These housemates really gave Zita a hard time last week. They did not respect her. She did not command respect. So they did not bother respecting her. They treated her anyhow. Yeah, but I'm very excited that it's Rooboy that's the head of house this week, because I know that these housemates cannot try shit with him. But anyways, that was that. And then there were conversations, as I said before, in the house, housemates talking about one another. And so we're going to begin with Kola and Imisi's conversation. Kola's conversation with Imisi happened right after the head of house challenger. So I listened to that conversation, and ladies and gentlemen, the first thing I deduced is that Kola seems to be the type of individual that relies heavily on his friend's validation of his feelings. Now, I don't know these housemates from Adam. I'm only speaking based off of my observations of how they portray themselves in the house and my experience of their personalities on my TV screen. All right. Now, I know that it might not be much, but it is something, because 99% of the time I am right. Yeah. So when I say that Kola comes across as one who bases off his, let me say, satisfaction or his belief, or let's say his confidence or something, maybe his conviction about things on the validation of his friends. Guys, I wasn't wrong, because in that conversation, clearly you could see that Imisi was kind of misleading him with certain information. But because what Imisi was saying made him feel good about himself, made him feel good about what he perceived about the people he was talking about, he did not bother to fact check. Yeah. So right after the head of house challenger, he was sad, and then he was telling Imisi by the poolside that that today has really shown that Jason J does not like him. And so I was wondering, like, how so? So he said that that he has been thinking about it for a while, but today just made it, obvious that why didn't Jason J choose him in the arena as one of his contenders for the head of house challenger. And you see, that made me laugh, because, ladies and gentlemen, if you think about it, look at the people that Jason J picked. These are the same people he picked in the first week, and these are the same people he picked again this week. He chose Culture and Rooboy because they are friends from outside. They have each other's back. Even though they quarrel from time to time, they are like brothers. They are friends. He chose Dede because obviously he likes Dede. He's had a thing for her. They have a very good relationship, right? He chose Koyin because he said he likes Koyin. Koyin is like his brother. And yesterday when he won the head of house challenge, he chose Koyin as his guest. So him choosing Koyin as a contender, didn't Kola think that, okay, well, maybe he's choosing Koyin so that Koyin could likely retain the title, so that he could pick, what's his name now, Jason J back in return if Jason J loses it to him. And then Bright, just because Jason knows that he is faster than Bright, which was one of his reasons why he chose Bright in the first week. So Jason J remained consistent with his selection. So the fact that Kola refused to see that, and he just concluded that, oh, because Jason J did not pick him. I'm like, why should he even pick you? It's not like both of you are actually best of friends in the house. Both of you are just cordial. If not for this Dede situation that is between both of you, it's not like people fight. Anyway, it's not like you're best friends. You kiss each other good night, kiss each other good morning. You are not best friends. I mean, if Imisi did not pick Kola, he has every right to say that. But this is Jason J, this is Kola, two separate people. So I listened to that conversation and I'm like, Kola, what is it? What is it? Like, dude, it's like you're so used to having anything fall into your laps in your life that this is Big Brother's house, that your eyes cannot open to see people's strategies right in front of you. And Imisi was like, yeah. And then he also mentioned that, that the reason why that it's actually two things. And the first one is, Jason just said it in front of people some weeks ago that the first time he encountered Kola during their auditions, that he felt invisible because Kola's energy overtook the whole room. And I'm like, well, I listened to that conversation, and Jason J has said it in a very light-hearted manner. He did not say it maliciously. He had actually said it in the sense that, that he's surprised to see Kola. Okay, that he's not surprised to see Kola in the house, because the moment he saw Kola during auditions, he knew that, okay, this guy, they will pick him, because Kola and his friends, they were very loud, they were very boisterous, that they really had what the production people were looking for. He was even actually praising Kola in that conversation. So Kola now bringing that back and making it look like Jason J was quite malicious about it, and Imisi was adding fuel to the fire. Guys, it just got me shaking my head in pity. And then he now said, oh, that he wants to also believe there's also this Dede thing. He's not very sure, but that. I said, now, wow. And then Imisi too was now bringing it down to Bright. She was now, you know, painting scenarios that, oh, the way Bright looks at Kola when Kola is moving around. Like, she's now acting like Kola's personal detective that helps Kola to observe people around them, to see the one that likes Kola and put that the one that does not like Kola. And Kola was like, oh, tell me what you know now. Tell me what you know now. Have you heard anything? I thought you are here to protect me. I say, oh, wow. So you people actually came into Big Brother's house and then you just appoint one another as protectors. Like, how, make it make sense. You know? And Imisi was telling Kola that, oh, from what she has noticed about Bright, it's like Bright does not like Kola, like Bright hates him. So what Bright does is he ensures that Kola makes bad boy decisions and does things XYZ. That, oh, Bright is even close to Dede. Kola was not saying, no, Bright is not close to Dede. That if it's that one, he knows that you don't have a relationship. Imisi was like, no. At least Bright's girlfriend, Mide, is Dede's friend. So that means at least they are, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, Jesus. Hey! And you see, this is the thing with Kola. Kola would take a conversation to one of his trusted friends that are very good at stroking his ego. They will tell him things, they will lie to him. He will swallow it all, hook, line, and sinker. And that thing they said to him will be planted in his brain for the longest time. And it's just really sad to see a grown man that is so gullible to people's words that he will swallow anything just to make himself feel better. It's just really sad. But then on the flip side, it could also be that Kola is trying to play a game, you know, trying to use Imisi as his minister of information, you know, the one that will go around, you know, gathering information to come and share with him. But then he also forgets that Imisi is there to also play the game. So even if it means isolating Kola from all of his trusted friends, she could likely do it. But guys, let me know your thoughts about that. Now, quickly moving on to the next conversation. This one was happening just as Imisi and Kola were having their own conversation right there in the garden. It was between Jason J and Dede. So Jason J had asked Dede to define her relationship with Koyin and Kola. And Dede has said that with Koyin, they are friends, more like siblings. In fact, the same thing that she has been saying in this house. But then I don't blame Jason J, because remember, for the past 1 week or 2 weeks, he and Dede, they've been, you know, separated in beef. Yeah. So she had explained that her relationship with Koyin, they could talk for 6 hours and they're just going around in circles and they're not talking about anything solid. That they have a very, very easy friendship and she likes it that way. With Kola, she says she likes Kola because Kola is a very sweet person. You know, she enjoys his company, not romantically now. That the only thing she doesn't really like about talking to him is that he's always talking about his feelings. And she's not interested in his feelings. She doesn't want to talk about it. But aside that part, which is a problem, that generally Kola is just a sweet person. He's one of the sweetest persons in the house and she enjoys talking to him, that they could talk for 5 minutes and they've talked about a lot of interesting things, you know. So these are the differences in our relationships with Kola and Koyin, that she cannot say which one she likes the most because both actually serves different purposes for her, and she just enjoys how different her relationship is with these different people. So she was asking Jason why he had even asked in the first place. And he said, well, he just wanted to be sure, because when he sees her talking to Koyin, they're always whispering together, they're laughing, they're having so much fun. And then with Kola, it seems like this conversation is more serious. So he just wanted to be sure what was going on. Now their conversation continued, and guys, I'm going to play back, listen to it, and let you all know if there's anything substantial from it. But this one that they shared really caught my attention, and I thought I should come and share with all of you. All right. Now, finally, for this video, ladies and gentlemen, drum rolls. Okay, this one is very exciting news. Yes, and I'm just so happy for the people involved. I'm speaking about the newfound friendship, bestieship between Zita and Tracy. Ladies and gentlemen, these two girls, oh my goodness, especially for Tracy, I am so happy for her because, you know, she's cried a lot of times since this show started about not having our own people, not having our own best friend, not having people in our own corner, you know, aside culture that is just there but also has his own people. Now she has her own person, and that is Zita. And so listening to both of them discuss things happening around the house, especially the what's his name, Mensan and Ivata situation that happened the previous night. They were also talking about conflict resolution between both of them in this their newfound friendship, you know. And Tracy was reminding Zita that, listen, if it happens that we decide to go our separate ways or we have a fallout, please let us not make it public. We can settle things privately, and, you know, we just go our separate ways in private and nobody will know, instead of going all out in a shouting spree like what Ivata did to Mensan the other night. And it was an agreement that they both had, and I was just so happy for them. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we know that in Big Brother's house, it is not easy to find your people. It is not easy to create friendships that turn into bonds with trust in it. So I was more happier for Tracy because she totally deserves it. Yeah. But anyways, I'm going to stop talking here now. This video has become too lengthy. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. So please go ahead and share. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.